There isn't a more polarizing person on the internet than Avocado. Perhaps one of the most celebrated violinists of our age, has for a long time been radicalized on the internet for his sacrilegious yet revolutionizing techniques on the violin. You know, I'm known for making a fitness video every once in a while, and whenever doing so, the easiest target, the easiest fucking punching bag to make a joke about is Avocado. And when doing so, you know, I'm not familiar with the guy. I have to usually fact check while editing to make sure that, you know, the joke is actually fucking accurate, that I'm not just spewing out nonsense. And usually when doing so, I get a little bit intrigued, check out his content, and learn a little bit more each and every time I make a simple joke about him, you know, being obese. But every time I got to know him a little bit better, I started realizing more and more that this is actually a modern artist. You know, he's simply sacrificing his health, his well-being, his mental well-being, you know, his relationships with other humans. You know, me coupled up with almost every single other person watching him wants to believe that it's just him inflating his personality. But that's also not the case. If you watch a video about a burger or some shit, he starts off the video by just breaking character completely, having a honestly the craziest speech I've ever heard on YouTube.
2 steps ahead. I am always 2 steps ahead. This has been the greatest social experiment I've come to know. To bear witness, to observe all these unwell, unbalanced, disoriented beings roam the internet in search of stories where people feel involved with the stories and therefore become product of influence.
Like, as you can clearly see, this guy's not fucking around. He's 2 steps ahead, man. You better watch out. Avocato's done something pretty crazy with his own life to prove a concept that I'm going to speak about. That it's human nature to simply be a piece of shit. This is especially so with the internet. You know, when people were first introduced to the internet, people didn't quite know what to do with it. But now there's a whole generation grown up with the internet. They know the ins and outs of the internet. They know what they can get away with and what they can't. And because of that, they're exploiting it to its full extent and showing their true intents while doing so. It's always been human nature to belittle others, make fun of others for your own benefits. But now there's full anonymity. And that usually just results in complete apathy from people on the internet. There's no emotions whatsoever, resulting in people just putting people up on pedestals who shouldn't really be on a pedestal, who are kind of usually mentally challenged, and then resulting in that kind of attention being all their self-worth. But you know what's pretty problematic with that is that all that self-worth can be taken away in an instant when they fall off. If you just look at memes in general trends over the course of the last 2-3 years, you can see this phenomenon happening. You know, the you know that guy? There's a Chris Chan, you remember that guy? Rest in peace, Chris Chan. You know, as soon as someone's being a little bit mentally challenged on the internet, everyone around them's like, yeah, do it. And I'm pretty sure Mr. Avocado figured this out pretty early on, and then started portraying a character, you know, sacrificing his health, his own well-being, to just do the craziest method acting that we've ever seen on the internet. You know, I saw a pretty interesting interview as of lately, which kind of served as inspiration for this video, where they interviewed Mr. Avocado, and they couldn't even figure out if it was actually portraying a character or not, because he just acted like he usually does on his video the entire fucking time. And this has led to people letting their guard down whenever watching his content, resulting in the very fucking honest opinions about him on the internet. By them being honest about him as a person, the more entertaining he gets. Whenever he receives criticism, he responds to it. He goes, "It's your fault, brace." He fucking hit you with the finger tap. There's no stopping this guy. And whenever his audience interacts with him, he'll get more entertaining, because not only will he get pissed off, but he'll start eating more. People watch him to feel better about themselves. Like, there's no other reason. There's no reason you'd watch a guy drown himself in food, be consumed by his gluttony, you know, argue with his fellow human beings, and be a piece, other than the fact that you want to feel better about yourself for your life not being that fucking bad. But guess what? His life ain't that bad. You simply think that your life is better than someone else's, but it's not. He's on fucking... Do you know how much money he makes just eating food on camera? Damn. He's 2 steps ahead. He is always 2 steps ahead. You want to consume, he's there for you. But Alec, why would this affect me? I'm only one out of a million. This can't possibly affect me. People forget that they reap what they sow. Boris, you could be the next guy given brief fame, then fall off. Then your entire self-worth is gone with that falling off. You could be next. I'm just saying, man, this says a lot about society, yet we live in one. You know, like I mentioned, Mr. Avocado has a little thing of going, it's your fault. As silly as that sentence may seem, as silly as that catchphrase may seem, I think it's got a point. It's your fault. Not for him necessarily, choosing to portray a character that's consumed by gluttony, but it's your fault that people who actually aren't playing a character falls into the same trap of having their entire net worth and self-worth dependent on other people. You know, Nikocado Avocado wouldn't have a giant fucking mansion, you know, a big house, a lot of fucking cash, right? If it wasn't for people watching his shit. No shit, that's how YouTube works. But he's doing so on purpose. He's literally the craziest businessman alive in the modern era, because he's literally sacrificing his own health for the grind. You know, Nikocado Avocado is the biggest Sigma male of our